Philosophical farmer Clyde Fenton visits the Dogwood Hills Guest Farm, where we'll learn about this location and the opportunity to have a hands-on experience milking cows, feeding animals, and what it's like to work on a farm.
Welcome to this segment of the Philosophical Farmer. We're here today at the Dogwood Hills Guest Farm. Not only does the Dogwood Hill Guest Farm have the experience that people can have here, but they also have several other businesses tucked within that business. They all work together in conjunction, but they have what's called a micro dairy here, where they're able to make cheeses and yogurts and different things with milks and creams and so forth. But they're all tied in together and they work very well in conjunction together.
We moved to Arkansas because my husband took a job out here, but there was nothing here but the house and a driveway in the woods, yeah. We bought the house and moved over here with a few animals, and we had a few chickens and goats. And I had been sitting on our front porch just thinking, what are we doing here in Arkansas? And people would wander down from the house up the hill here. It's kind of off behind my shoulder. And this barn that we're sitting in right now wasn't here. And I was milking a cow out on the side of the hill tied to a fence post. And they would come down and say, can I milk the cow? Can I do this with you? Can I do that? And it was like, no. So I started thinking about what it would take to have people stay on our farm. I searched how to stay on a farm, staying on a farm, blah, blah. And so I joined Farm Stay US, and then I started calling some of the other farms and seeing what did they like, what didn't they like, what would you do again, what would you never do again. And we really were able to figure out how we wanted to start. And really our passion was letting people know where their food came from.
Well, I started showing when I was very, very small in New Jersey, showing chickens that were half my size, and then once we moved here, I was a little bit older, so I was just about at the age where I could join 4-H, as a peewee. I started looking into more dairy goats, and then I got about 20 of those and kind of wheedled out of my meat goats. I wanted to start getting more into dairy cows because we had already purchased our first dairy cow. So at 12, I went to the FSA office and took out a youth loan for $4,000, purchased my registered Jersey cow, 3 heifers, and the original fodder system. Paid that loan off about 5 years early, and then took out another one. So now I have 20 cows, and that's become, now this certified dairy that I have.
Our priority is always with the animals and making sure that's taken care of. When we've got a stressor like a drought or something like that, you're out there making sure they've got water, they're getting rotated into areas where they have food and things like that. There's a life lesson in that though, it's all not just this painted little cute picture. There's real life happening here, and our guests a lot of times are right front and center for that. I think one of the biggest challenges we had was this wasn't the ideal space property for farming. But what we've learned all the years that we've been doing this is you have to work with what you have. So stop fighting what you thought you were going to do and just back up and say, okay, what can I do?
Luckily, we didn't have to change much on the outside of the area. Of course, we had to get everything to become a certified dairy, such as my pasteurization, my pasteurizer machine, which was custom built because they don't typically make pasteurizers for micro dairies. They're like, well, we don't normally do it this small. They're like, why do you want something so small? Like, because I'm only allowed 10 cows in my milking herd, along to coordinate with the guidelines of a micro dairy.
We have a gluten-free, our kitchen's completely gluten-free. So we have a lot of people, I would say 25% of our guests now this past year have been, either celiac or gluten-free, and they're very grateful to come here and be able to eat everything without having to worry about getting sick. I just think that this is a great opportunity for people to come, figure out where their food comes from, reconnect.
In conclusion today, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about experience. So often today we can read about something, we can see it on TV, but to come and actually be a part of it and do it. I love what they're doing here, and that people are getting to see a lot of what goes into their food. I recommend people taking advantage of these opportunities. We've kind of reached a point in our culture where many of our folks, they're 2 generations removed from farm or family that was even involved in farm, and so these are great experiences, places to bring your kids. Another aspect that they've talked about here is unplugging. This is a great place to unplug from all the technology and so forth, and just kind of get back to nature and understand a little bit more about where their food came from. Thank you for tuning in today. We look forward to seeing you the next time.